Showtime, Bitcoin moneymaker, every angle to get in the crypto game. Welcome to all my fellow Bitcoin monkeys. Here we are again. I just released a beginner's guide on Binance in my guys playlist that I just started. If you're interested, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that. Clap, 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 clap. Okay, so Bitcoin still kind of doing the same thing. If you are a day trader with really small time intervals, like you're looking at the 1 minute, 5 minute chart, you could see some stuff going on, but for the most part, it's been kind of just hanging around as we see and consolidating. And people give a bunch of reasons for this, and I think Carter Thomas gives the best one, which is markets. You have to think of a market as almost like one big being, and it's just had this huge dopamine rush to break through 10,000. People are saying it's going to dip down to 5, it's going to shoot to 15. Everybody's going crazy like it's 1979, and at some point you just run out. We have the CME and the futures trading coming up, and the holidays are coming, so I think this is just a little bit of a breather. There could be a ton of crazy shit that goes down before the CMEs come out, but thinking back to the Bitcoin gold fork, I think it's been like a month and a half now. Right before then, it felt like the fork was priced in a week and a half to 2 weeks before the event occurred. And that happens a lot in markets where they'll start mentally pricing things in before they happen. So that may happen with the CME group. Who knows? I haven't done any real trading with Bitcoin. I've just kind of held my place. I have a little bit in cash on Poloniex just sitting with some stops in case it drops and I'm sleeping and it'll buy back in. I may buy back in with that little amount really soon. Most of my Bitcoin is just sitting in Bitcoin, or it's in Hashflare mining or whatever else. So just looking through the market today, I'm going to keep track of Tether every day. I put this at the top of my list because of what I've read and heard about Tether being printed, especially as Bitcoin keeps flying up. So if this starts dropping, if Tether gets cheap compared to the US dollar, meaning its value is going down, that is a sign to look for a big market correction move, anything. So I keep these at the top. 0x this month, I think their first version of their JavaScript for their decentralized exchange software, their protocol is hitting the markets, and they have like Radar Relay and a bunch of other exchanges that are planning to use their protocol. So I'm looking for that to make a jump, and I'm going to go back to the day chart. Other people are watching out for it too, and I think everyone that was a 0x fan, I bought it way back in the ICO days of August, and it did pretty well at first, like everything in August, and then it had its drop where it just sort of, you can see in TradingView, it doesn't keep a good history back to the day, but 4 hours the best I can do. But you can see that it's gone back. It had a high and it's dropped off and just kind of stayed like a bunch of coins. And you can see there's a volume spike right here where it had a little raise. Now it's having its next little raise, and I am just watching the indicators. They're kind of, the ultimate oscillator is kind of high, looking like it's going to come down soon. The RSI says it still has some gas. I'm waiting for this to break through this cloud, and I'm waiting for these to kind of drop a little bit lower before we get more action. But maybe tomorrow, maybe in the next couple days, it feels like all the altcoins are kind of waiting because there hasn't been that much action in the market, at least big action that I've seen. So I've been just honestly staying still. I still think while Bitcoin is consolidating, everyone's kind of catching their breath and watching it, that this is a great time again to read books. I'm almost done with the Hedge Fund Edge. I'm going to move on to the Day Trader's Bible, which Crypto Rand recommended. I've heard about it before either way, so that's the next book on my list. It's good to research coins. Like I researched Ardor, which is a big coin underneath Cardano here, and it helps produce child chains. That's gone up a lot. We'll see on CoinMarketCap. So I'm just trying to get aware of coins maybe I wasn't interested in, because it's a game you have to play a balance. You need to pick coins that you can actually follow so you can trade in and out when you need to, but you also need to be aware of other newer coins, because we're in this environment where it's really the Hunger Games. It's do or die, killer monkeys flying out of trees, poisonous gas everywhere. You need to have it together. You need to strap your helmet on, and you need to look in every direction. There's no sleeping. So always got to be on the watch out for bigger, better coins, because even though we have some blue chips, we don't have that institutional money, and we don't have that 3 to 5 year track record of profits, revenue, all that good stuff, cash flow. So just looking through the list, I mean, it looks like Monero hasn't been ready to shoot. Where the hell am I on this chart? Am I still on? Oh, wrong one. Not XBTZ. That's the future contract for Bitcoin. XMRZ. There's too many goddamn acronyms, even with X and Z in this industry. But yeah, it's still, it fell below this triangle. It's still waiting. Everything's waiting for Bitcoin. My Ethereum's in the sixth ring of hell. That has not reached liquidation at Dante's seventh ring. It's just on fire right now below the lava storm. So hopefully it breaks out of purgatory and into the heaven of profits. So it's waiting. I'm just pretending like I bought right now, and it's just I bought at a good position. But as long as it doesn't liquidate, it's Ethereum. I really believe it's going to come back. IOTA, which mine is jail locked up in a wallet because I'm one of those reclaim people on the huge reclaim list. I just have to wait for the reclaim process to start. There's this thread with 1 million people complaining, why isn't the reclaim process started? But, I mean, damn, it has had a pretty good run here. And I have it as one of my long-term holds, a smaller long-term hold, but it's one of them. I think Monero, Ethereum, Neo, Bitcoin are all the big dogs in my world, and IOTA is another one that's starting to prove itself that it does have a big hardcore team of PhDs. It has a really nice website. It looks like they're really swinging for the fences, so I like what they're trying to do. Stellar Lumens, like I said, I bought the other day just a little bit. It's even evening off. I think I saw one or two, like Ardor and Cardano are the big ones that really spiked. I mean, Vertcoin has still, come hell or high water, it has kept doing well. I already own that. I'm not planning to add to my position yet. I'm just holding that. Everybody loves Zcoin for privacy. A lot of the advanced traders love it. I think that it is also going to be a good coin. I think privacy coins, as all these governments, like the UK just started talking about Bitcoin regulation. The IRS, is going after Coinbase. And that's not surprising, really. I think the market's kind of priced that in because it's kind of like, no shit, the biggest big brother state, the UK, of course they're going to crack down on Bitcoin and want to know where everyone's Bitcoin is. And the IRS always wants money because we got to pay for a lot of stuff over here in the States. Got to have a lot of expensive toys here. Mona, I think that also had a rise, then it dropped, but it's still kind of fighting, and it's really big in Japan. So there's a lot of different things, but nothing. I don't see like a lot of at my level, I don't see a lot of great trends in trading action like we usually do see, where I want to jump into BitMEX and start margining. I'm like, I really believe this. The market's still in that breathe easy phase, and I'm watching it just like everybody else. And also the Bitfinex cold wallet, this is also for the Tether. Because remember, losing capital is the worst thing. To gain that back after you have a huge drawdown, it takes so much longer. It's better to get limited gains consistently than to have big wins and then terrible losses that pretty much set you back months, years. So this wallet, it got a little scary here when it started going down in the middle of the month, that's when people started mentioning it, reading articles. A little bit of fear entered the market, but now it's kind of leveling off. And I think it's also because Bitcoin has leveled off, and I bet Tether isn't printing as much now that the big surge to whatever we're at, 11.5, has now kind of consolidated a bit. And we're at 350 billion already. I'm just marching down the list. IOTA, like I said, is a big gainer. Cardano and Ardor have been kind of the stories lately. Neo had a nice little bump. It seems like Neo, every time it tries to reach for the sky, it gets backslapped in the face, back down. So let's see if it can keep this 40 and get to 50. But otherwise, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, Neo's an interesting one. I don't look at it enough because I'm just mostly a holder in it. So I'm not really planning to trade it that much compared to a lot of other coins. But yeah, it's still just kind of on the day chart. It's still sitting just like a lot of other things, just waiting for its moment to shine. But almost everything's doing good compared to the almighty dollar. This is so funny, the almighty dollar. The dollar is gonna, who knows what's gonna happen to the US dollar in 10 years if this stuff keeps up. Probably be making wallpaper out of it. So EOS is another one. It seems like a lot of people, though, don't back EOS. Like a lot of the experienced people I hear talk, I don't hear a lot of EOS fans compared to the other platforms. I'm hearing more support for Cardano as more guys learn about it. Even I'm still learning about it. Stellar Lumen seems like it keeps kind of marching. Bitconnect! Bitconnect! It's number 16, above $1 billion again. Oh, my homeboy Bitconnect. And Mise Go. Mise Go's kind of, it's up to $10. That's nice. I think it got up to a high of 14 or 15 at some time in the past, but yeah, things are just kind of waiting. Stratus has actually had a good comeback right now. It was really struggling. Waves, I think that's an all-time high against the dollar. But this is the thing, guys. If you see Waves, you're like, oh, all-time high, all-time high. Let's see what it is against Bitcoin. I bet you, pardon my market tab hit. Let's see. So look at, oh, great. All-time high dollar met all-time high all the way back in June. It's gotten back to where it was in June, but if you just own Bitcoin instead, look at that orange one. Not as pretty. So you got to think about that stuff, because a lot of people get hyped up, they get really emotional about their coin and only look at that aspect. So moving on, Chain.Group still paying out. I think I got like 163 today. This puts me at, because I skipped a day of videos, I think I'm 23 something out, 2,400 out of 5,000, so I'm going to keep shoveling over. They didn't have any new tweets, no new scary news or sketchy, shady sideshows. They're just doing what they do still, which is good. And then Bitconnect! I've got 170 today. I have to verify these terms. I should read that contract every time, huh, guys? Again, for people watching this or just getting into the whole crypto world, Bitconnect, Chain.Group, all that stuff, the smartest strategy. There's a bunch of videos. There's my video that's like episode 1 or 2, is that you need to have a strategy to exit as soon as you can with what you put in. And sometimes there's like a 60-40 strategy. There's a certain strategy where you wait a month or two to get your snowball rolling. But you definitely, with any of these, you need to measure the risk, and you need to get your initial capital out as soon as you can when you think it's safe. I am being riskier. This is like the riskiest part of my portfolio. None of this money in crypto is money that I cannot afford to lose. I could afford to lose all of this. It wouldn't affect my life at all. This is all just like savings that was sitting around in like fucking bonds. You know what I mean? So reinvest. So was that 170 plus that 40 plus change? So I don't know overall. This 6 plus that plus whatever I put in. This is probably like 220, 230 today. So it's slowly marching up. And if we look at the total, I wish they would just left it so you could see it. I don't know if they do that. It's like a psychological thing to be like, ooh, I just opened my present. Like, here's my money. I feel like that's why. I don't know why they would do that. Maybe they think it's a psychological game to keep you interested. You're opening your little shell game. So yeah, 7,500. This almost matches Chain.Group. I hope they keep going. I hope I get to my 400 a day goal and I start pulling out. And then of course, the savings account that keeps giving. I was so close before I started making all of these videos, even at the beginning of making these videos, of pulling out of this because it's a year-long lease. Each new one's a year-long lease. But it has gotten, all I care about is Satoshis, Bitcoin it gives me. It has gotten an all-time high of near 20,000 Satoshis. And so that's great. I think that's worth like 20 bucks a day if I'm not mistaken. And I put in originally in all of this $120. So I should actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I should withdraw enough to get my initial capital out. And I may actually start doing that right after this hits 20,000 Satoshis just for good luck, and then just take out for 6, 7, 8 days, get some profit, and then keep reinvesting again. So that's nice. And then you can see this marching up. This is at 6.9 million. I think that's the highest I've seen it. Again, I put in 2.8 million. So in a year I would get over double, and now it's starting to get towards triple. So it's great. Again, all the links are in the description if you want to explore Hashflare, Bitconnect, any of this stuff, Trading.Group. It's all good. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, and as always, the rest is up to you.